It's the holiday season, and I'm giving a dirty look to Verbal Tap Legal because we have Garry Tonon on the show. I'm just going to spoiler alert it. People saw that I wrote his giant ass 2R name on the title because he's a marquee fighter, but I submitted pre-questions to Raph and Verbal Tap Legal. And my question to you, Raph, is this. Who's the one that nixed all the genitalia questions? Was it you or was it Verbal Tap Legal?
It was Verbal Tap Legal because I feel like censoring your form of expression it's not right. It's like when they try to take away the emoji of an eggplant on the internet, but we all goddamn know what it means.
I feel like John Cena without a Speedo. I'm upset. Yeah. I'm upset on this end of the aisle.
So I guess before we introduce him, Kev, we should go over some business. Did you almost die coming to the show today?
Oh, my God. I refuse to answer yes. I did, but I refused to answer yes because if it had said was rushing home through a blizzard to interview Garry Tonon on my tombstone, I would have come back to life and killed myself again in front of that whole thing. I was driving through a winter storm in western Kansas because I was like, oh, Gary's a good get. No. You will drive through this with the patience of a nun because this is not going to be how you go. And it's important to note, outside of a few minor wind scares, I am here and I am alive.
It should also be noted that this is one of the few times I've ever told a guest, we're targeting between Sunday and Monday. Which is not really
it's not helpful.
How I tend to do
he
things,
has a training schedule. He's a fighter. It's not a helpful window. Hey, the first 2 days, maybe.
We're with Comcast. We're going to show up anytime between 2 a.m. and
next Wednesday
and 2 a.m. the following Wednesday.
So hopefully you'll be there, right?
Hopefully you're good with that.
Well,
hopefully you'll be available for the next week and a half.
Hold on, we haven't introduced you yet, so shut up. Pretend like you're not here still.
People are like, who is it? Who's the guy?
Here, Kev, we should go with our annual. This is the Verbal Tappies. These are the awards that we give out to individuals that we feel establish themselves in the realm of MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. And this year, we put up and said many questions on our Instagram, and we said, who had one of the most memorable matches of the decade? Because we're closing in on a decade, depending on your definition of when it ends. But we're just going to call it a decade now. And Gary's name got mentioned a whole bunch. We got about 40 messages saying Garry Tonon in a match. At which point I said, you know what we have to do? We have to bring him on the show. So thus, we are bringing the nominee and designated winner, because he showed up, of Best Grappler in a Match from the decade goes to Garry Tonon. Garry, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, my friend. I just had several Snickers as well as Twix.
Wow.
And feeling pretty pumped up right now. Had a 5-hour nap in the middle of the day. So holiday season is treating me well.
That is my favorite thing to get from a guest, where I was like, hey, man, Kev got in early. We can go early if you want. Nothing? Uh-oh. 4 hours since we've last seen him? That's not good. He's on East Coast too. Might have been nap time for Garry. But like a true professional, you somehow rallied 10 minutes before we were going to show, which...
Yeah, total mistake, by the way, because I had an alarm set for 10 o'clock. I woke up at said alarm and then just went right back to bed with no alarm set. So 100% could have just missed it at any point in time. So
it would have been really awkward for me to do an impression of Garry Tonon for the entire episode. So,
but then 22 minutes ago, a Christmas miracle happened. A Kron Gracie-like nightmare appeared in Gary's dreams. Kron arrived and said, "You must awaken." He said, "For what? For why?" He was like, "A podcast." They laughed for 2 minutes, and then Garry found himself accidentally awake because of all the laughter, and that's how we got him.
I awoke to the sound of my neighbors stomping all over the ceiling, as well as shitty Mariah Carey Christmas music.
Oh my God, I miss the East Coast. Oh, I miss it
so
much.
You can thank Mariah for this one.
I thank Mariah daily for a lot of shit, so this is not that unusual for it. Gary, I guess the weird part to me is
someone protect Mariah. Gary's not that far from her, and he's motivated, and he has the skills. Everybody keep an eye out.
So, Gary, what does an athlete of your stature do during the holidays? Are you in the gym 1,000 hours? Are you, making sure you're getting ready for your next theoretical fight? Stay ready sort of mentality. Is that what you're doing right now?
Good question. Well, I am basically, like I said, eating as much terrible food as possible, leftovers from different family events, getting food poisoning every other day, and focusing on doing that while John's away filming in Boston. So I can be like, when he comes back, I'll just be like, yeah, John, getting in like 3 sessions a day, bro.
Is that John Danaher? Is that John Danaher?
No, that was me. That was me.
No, I'm sorry. Is that the John you're referencing? He's in Boston filming?
Yes.
Is he doing The Town 2 with Ben Affleck? What's he filming?
Exactly. I mean, he's been there since like before Christmas. So.
He's also doing 3 small pornographic indie things. Those we will not be mentioning, as Verbal Tap Legal has already instructed.
That's not in the spirit of this podcast.
No, but what's he filming in Boston?
I mean, I guess it's funny because I got to talk to the guys in Boston, and they were like telling me, because John just tells us like he goes in films, right? Like we don't get the reference of like what actually goes down over there, and they're like, yeah, well, like when most people come in and they film DVDs, they kind of just like, they stick to a general,
outline
topic, and they finish said topic. Like if you're going to do half guard, you keep doing half guard techniques, and then that's the end of the DVD. But apparently John will just work for like 4 to 6 hours, like for doing a particular like move or something like that, or subject, and then just like he'll just switch randomly halfway through to another DVD. Like that's not what they're attempting to film, like something else just out of the blue, and they're
he does
like,
it Memento style, so the director walks in, like pulls Polaroids off that are like, John did half guard heel hook 2 years ago, use in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How do you follow that?
I think it's a little bit more like he's shooting all the Lord of the Rings at once, where they're just like, are we doing Return of the King now? Okay, cool. Thanks for telling us, John.
I'm buying it either way. Like, I want to
to
be crystal clear. I'm like already on this website looking for whatever the Danaher 4 to 6 hour nonsense lessons. Like, yep, where do I pay for that? But interesting. So you don't know. You don't have a fucking
apparently he, I don't know, just the sessions take, I don't know, I think it was like pretty much like the whole day, like it's like 12 hours or more.
And he's doing
majority
it
of it is spent with John telling stories about street fights, and that's pretty much how it goes.
So it's a gym ethos to distract people at Christmas. Got it. I'll wait for your announcement that you're changing your name to Garry with 1 R next Christmas. And that's how I'll know things you've run out of shit to say.
Well, Kev, we should probably talk about this because we haven't brought it up with Garry. Garry, you have your own DVD now after a long in-demand sort of a thing. BJJ Fanatics is Escape from LA, Escape from the System, or whatever you're calling it. There's one thing that I felt a little sad about, which was, Garry was very funny on one of my jokes or something, and he basically put down like, Raf, if only your dad had thought about pulling out when you're a kid. And I was like, you can't do that to me. You have a whole fucking system called Escape the System coming out, and that invites dad jokes that I don't feel like doing at this moment, but none of the people following the chain are going to remotely follow. And the best part is that you get 1 or 2 stragglers that are coming in going like, ha, good job, Garry. And I go, don't reward him for his shit joke.
Rafa has such a high standard, and I don't know if it's just specifically for me or for comedy in general. I don't know I haven't really discerned that yet, but to me, it seems like it's specifically for me. I have this standard for joke telling that's just unreachable. Like, if I use any level of cliche, it's just like, yeah, not worth it.
Well, let me go ahead and comma me also, Garry. I don't want to use me too because that particular hashtag already has been taken. But me also, sir. You and I are riding with it. So can I ask, did you think you were achieving that standard when you put on a deer costume, the world's greatest rack of breasts, and posed on Instagram?
I don't know. I feel like Ross just looks at it and was like, yeah, pandering.
I saw that and I literally was like, oh, he's now doing like some Frozen fan fiction now.
He looks like a sexy ass reindeer. I'm having sexually confused feelings. I guess that's where this whole thing started. But it's like, when did Garry get double D's? I'm just so... Look, I'm not complaining. I just think it's going to be difficult for him to escape those arm bars now. That's my one and only...
So
transitioning.
The thing that threw me, Garry, was, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw those photos come out, I took maybe about 5 minutes to potentially start making a meme, and I said, no, I'm not doing this. I refuse to participate in contributing and perpetuating whatever this is supposed to do. But there was definitely a moment where I got the photo, I had a couple memes in mind, and I was like, oh, fuck, no, this is getting a little too weird even for Garry. So at what point did someone suggest? No, I know that's not true. When did you decide you were going to put on that outfit?
Oh, Rap, let me interrupt. He was doing a photo shoot with his friend, the director of the HBO series Oz, and they were like, this would be funny. And he was like, yeah, sure, I could do that. And it was basically a prison audition take. Am I right, Garry? Go ahead.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I woke up in the morning and I was yelled at by my mother to put on Christmas pajamas. And it was pretty cold in the house because she doesn't believe in heat, much like many mothers. And I saw this reindeer costume and it looked rather warm. So I put that on. And then later on during the day, I had gotten everybody, I put in their stockings these balloons that are they have nipples on them.
Okay.
So they look like tits.
Oh, this is all starting to come into line like a nice puzzle.
So then we would tie the two balloons together to make actual tits. And then when I saw them sitting out on the floor next to the Christmas tree, I was like, oh, maybe I could squeeze these into the costume. And that's pretty much the story. So
was your mom confused, or does she just roll her eyes at this point?
Yeah, at this point, it's just like another day. You know, it's not anything that abnormal.
She walks straight to the kitchen and is like, Garry, breakfast will be ready in 10. I'll get you some coffee.
All I can see underneath this is professional MMA fighter Garry Tonon, because it would have to say that. Otherwise, you'd have no way of knowing.
Somebody did a one of these random BS Jiu-Jitsu media outlets that thinks they're way more important than they
called
actually are.
Verbal Tap.
Thank you.
No. One of these media outlets, I think, did how did your favorite grapplers celebrate their Christmas? And it's a bunch of totally normal photos of Cyborg sitting down with his girlfriend with a Christmas hat, Bernardo Faria with his family,
eating some
and then
cranberry
it's me
quinoa
in a reindeer costume with my tits out.
Good.
It's Andre Galval with his family at the beach. This is Rafael Lovato in a Zen garden, and then is that Garry Tonon dressed like a tittied up reindeer? Fascinating. Fascinating. He looks like that hot woman from Roger Rabbit that gave everyone cartoon sexual confusion, except whatever this is.
What was it? What was the Bugs Bunny's female sidekick / girlfriend
Babs
thing
Bunny?
from space? Yeah. There you go.
Did Babs have
I did
two
realize
S's? Because it's a nice precursor.
I mean, I will say I did realize you're starting to go more into Looney Tunes territory now, Garry. And I'm like,
Yes.
been there, done that. Bugs Bunny did it first. Whatever. No big deal.
Nice,
But Gary, here's
nice
a question.
set, though. Just keep your horns away from that thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, so here's where we're at right now, Gary. You put together a DVD. What has the response been from that?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's hard to say for sure, because it's just like anything you put out that's new, especially after there was a lot of momentum from other people that did something good, and it's somewhat similar. It's like hard to really 100% believe the feedback. Like I don't really know like how real that is. It's just like, all right, well, John will be like, you sold the most DVDs this month. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm the only person that came out with a DVD this month. I would hope so, So it's just like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about it yet. We'll see how it goes in the future. But so far, so good. They say good things to me. But I like to just continue to knock myself down. Probably, stems from family trauma growing up or something like that.
Look, no one cares
Never really
about your
believed you're
bullshit.
too good.
I mean, here we
Yeah.
go. It's like I wasn't interested before, but I got so bored at the end.
And
Yeah.
you also picked the wrong show to think we're equipped to handle any of those problems and help you with them.
Can't
Because
do it.
really,
Sure.
no, not registered.
Oh, you mean I shouldn't come to random BJJ / MMA media outlets to vent about my psychological trauma?
No, you
Well, if you're gonna do
absolutely
that,
That's
should.
not how you do this.
Just come
If
in
you're gonna do
person.
that,
I've
Kev.
got so much weed here, Raph. I mean, why hasn't he just like fly to Denver, endure the cold? Because I will warn you, there's like 4 inches of snow on the ground. As someone that just arrived a few hours ago. And, let's smoke it up and have it out. But that's just someone who's a hugger. Raph, your advice?
Seems
My advice is this, Gary. I mean, you say we just go to any podcast and all of that, but I've heard through the grapevine you're appearing on another podcast sometime relatively soon. One would say maybe a little bit of a cheater on us, Gary. You're appearing on what
Yeah,
is it?
do you,
Severe Naked Radio? Is that the one you're going on now?
yeah. I mean, do you feel threatened by this like completely new show that has no audience whatsoever?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
as you've been
still
doing
hear
this
my
for
every show,
for
Gary.
like a decade.
Well, let me ping pong this back at you. Do you feel threatened by the first asshole that wears patriotic spats and has abs? You're damn right you do. You see him with his bleached hair, and you're like, "Who's that son of a bitch? Is it a 10th Planeter?"
Yeah, I mean,
Someone
I didn't
tell
like
me if
Nicky
it's
Rod
10th
at
Planeter.
first.
Thank you. Finally, the truth has come out. We can settle this whole thing. I do want to pivot this because
I do like him now, but you're right. At first, I didn't.
First of all, if you said you liked him less, I think you'd gain more fans than lose.
Fair.
And so would he probably. He's been driving me fucking crazy. If you would remind him that jiu-jitsu requires submitting people, that would be helpful for all of us. Important to note, I've never met him in person. I've never seen how big he is. That's so helpful. You are...
I definitely question it if you had.
You've seen him. Can you submit Nicky Rod pretty quickly?
Pretty quickly.
You know him. You
depends on-
submit him. This is me asking you. This is a very nerdy jiu-jitsu question because you're like a big brother at the gym. And by big brother, I mean the tiny guy with the size complex, but is pretty good at submitting people. You fight Nicky Rod a lot, I presume. I guess I don't know. Can you beat him?
Yeah. I definitely can. If I think that it's like, if people think it's like easy for me, it's not. Like, I don't know. I guess people get a little bit too comfortable with this idea of me like competing against bigger people and doing well. And then they're like, they just think that just directly translates over into like me beating up my training part. But like, guys,
Can
like,
you beat Gordon Ryan
these are
2.0?
people
This new robot
Yeah, like
version?
like
Not the
I see
free
every
version.
day,
Okay.
and they're like 100 pounds heavier than me. It's like, I mean, it's not as easy as like people like make it out to be. Like, dude, if he gets behind me, he literally has rear naked chokes like locked over your fucking skull, and you're like, yep, my cranium's gonna shatter now. So, it's either tap or go into the hospital with a brain bleed. Those are my two choices now. So, I mean, I definitely submit him, but it's not like a joke. It's not easy.
But
Does
this
he
might be.
charge at you
He submits me too.
consistently before he's about like, does it like a bull where they kind of like tread the grass a little bit and then go directly into charge mode, and then you end up playing a little bit of,
Absolutely
the running of the bulls?
Absolutely not. Nicky Rod is just full bull all the time. There is no moderate pace or like medium Nicky Rod. It's just fucking balls to the wall 24/7. Like he walks into can I just express this? This actually would be great if you guys witness this at some point. But when he walks into the gym, it's like already on. He comes in, gets changed, and he's just fucking pacing back and forth. Like John's teaching a move, okay? He's not like sitting down watching it like the other 85 people in the room. He's like looking at John teach the move, just shoulders. I wish I could fucking do that. I'm not going to be able to do this justice with my words, but he's just swaying his shoulders side to side, marching back and forth across the gym while like staring downwards at John teaching the move. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is he ready to fight somebody?
He looks like a boxer. He looks like somebody about to come out of the tunnel, like in a boxing match.
Yeah,
he looks
exactly.
Fuck that.
1,000%.
Fuck you, Nicky Rod, with your 275-pound ass. Yeah, I know that's not what you weigh, but I know it's what you kind of weigh when you're like, fuck it, I'll just get cheesesteaks and pizza this week. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
So then it comes to drilling, and then, so like most people, they just practice the move and like at a moderate pace, most, I don't know, you're like trying to figure it out, right? So Nicky Rod usually maybe does the move one time and then just degenerates drilling the move into a full-on jiu-jitsu match / fist fight with whoever it is that he's drilling with every single day. So it's just like, we'll be like quietly drilling some Ashigarami thing, and you just hear like a scuffle and fucking two people slamming into the wall and sweat flying everywhere. It's like one of those little, to make more Looney Tunes references, like when two of them start fighting and it's just like a big ball of fucking like a, I don't know, what do you call it?
Stop
like
turning me on.
Storm or something.
Oh yeah, no, a cloud. I get it.
I think what Garry is trying to describe is what happens when the cats on like Heathcliff would fight, and it's just a giant cloud with arms and limbs that just kind of move out of it occasionally.
That's a lot what it looks like. Yes, thank you for helping me use
welcome.
Words to describe things. I'm a grappler, I don't have a brain.
I mean, here's the good news, Kev. Nicky Rod is a friend of the show.
You're a friend.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't
said it here. I don't know that big Maricon motherfucker.
And I will say, of all the people I've ever asked how many steroids you're on, he has had one of the most nonchalant.
Of the many people Raph has inquired, what's your steroid regime? He had a good one?
It was the most relaxed, like, I don't know if I've shown Garry this one, but we're doing an interview and there was a window behind him. And I was like, oh, hey, Nicky, could you do me a favor, man? Could you look behind you? And he was like, yeah, sure, man. And I was like, oh, shoot, I think I just saw BJJ steroids just ran out. Oh, it looked like they were coming for you, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Are you okay? And he just was like, blah, that's great. And I was like, but you get that question a lot. How does he make you feel? And he's just like, I don't care. No, I'm fine. I work hard.
Here's how I know that story's not true. The reason I know that story's not true is because if there was a window where Nicky Rod could see his reflection, he'd already be flexing in it. So there's no way he would have had to turn around. He would have known already. He can sense that.
Let me go ahead and tell you.
It's one of his special powers.
It is one of his special powers.
It's not going to be a Marvel movie, but it's worth webisodes. That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, Garry, and I'll make this more accurate of a story, he did have his shirt already off. So it's kind of weird when I do these Skype interviews and I'm like about to start and you'll start doing the like pre-interview and you say, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's kind of what I'd like to ask you, or I just kind of give them an idea ballpark of how the show works. And right as it happens, I'm like, $50 says this man, and he's not wearing a shirt. Perfect. And I'm like, dude, you're in a home. Like, does it bother you to like sponsor somebody and wear a shirt? Like, you don't have to be on brand all the time. And he's just like, why would you cover up a sports car? And I was like, no, we get it.
Did you mention you were 2 steps away from cyber sex? If he's not careful, it's not a helpful. Trying to have an online interview.
It is weird to explain to people because it's happened a couple times before where people like are doing the Skype interview, and I try to explain to people it looks so ridiculous to know that I'm going to Skype call you, and then you have that look like, oh, I didn't see you there without my shirt, and it's like you were well prepared. We scheduled this interview, so it just looks weird.
I mean, I hear you on that, but I have to say, out of all the characters that I've come into contact with, whether it be MMA or Jiu-Jitsu or whatever the case may be, Nicky Rod's character is the most authentic. Like, I really don't think it takes much. Like you saying, like, oh yeah, like he was waiting for me with his shirt off for this interview, like that. Like I could see where you're coming from with that, like him being like, oh yeah, like I've got to play my character. I really just think it's out of personal preference. Like I don't really.
I agree. I get that.
Why would I put my shirt on? I'm about to be on the internet. I should show the
that's
world.
like that's real for him, despite the fact that it was inorganically created by the interview. Like he's just like.
Can I tell you who else
get out there,
it was
show
real
these nips
for?
off again,
Tito Ortiz's ex-wife, and I think this is a great moment to reflect that it's about a celebration of your own body. So if that's what Nicky Rod's doing. I celebrate him, Raph. I celebrate anyone that wants to perform on camera sexually. Sorry, I couldn't get through the rest.
Man,
I was so close.
I was posting something about one of my other teammates, and they I get comments now like, oh yeah, well he's no Nicky Rod. It's like what?
Whoa, hey, calm
he's
down.
No Nicky Rod, and like we
you
just
find
had to
yourself
attack the chick because
sexually defending.
What the hell was that, man? We're all being held to this fucking Olympic god standard. Like, come on, man.
Hey, Garry Tonon's own Instagram profile has owner of Brunswick BJJ listed 3rd. Like everybody, calm down.
I love the fact that if you look at how the Danaher Death Squad has evolved over the years, it does seem like someone has scripted the types of characters that have found their way in. So over the years, we've gone from you, who seems like Bart Simpson that grew up that just basically was like, oh shit, it didn't turn out well for him.
Learned how to heel hook somehow.
But at least he knows how to heel hook. He's got 1 or 2 lines
Very
that he says
good at
over
heel
and over. His version of "eat my shorts" is basically like calling someone the C word, whatever. Garry, that's just Garry.
It's only mildly offensive. We've boiled your incredibly grappling prowess down to he's good at heel hooks. that felt offensive as we said it.
I know, and the C word.
But
like, here's why it's funny, because then you look at it and you go, okay, but what if we added a Crocodile Dundee character who comes and also does like heel hooks, but like newer? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. Does he like wearing anything other than just like Speedos to promote products?
Fucking bet he does.
Nope.
And then,
clenched.
How about one of the main characters decides incest is pretty funny with this girl he's probably seeing, but like, I don't know what their situation is. Yeah, let's do that.
Game of Thrones was really popular around that time that part of the character started coming out,
Pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so
I think he was just trying to roll with what everybody else found entertaining at that point in time. I mean, also, I think that stepsister porn is probably like number 1 or 2 of the porn subcagories. I'm a huge fan.
I love that you prefaced it with "I think." I think it probably is, right?
I mean, at least in my computer. I don't know about everybody else's. I just assumed. I thought everybody was like me, and that's what they're watching. But
it's about acceptance.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstepping.
Well, let's say this, Garry, because I think it's important. These are the end of the decade retrospectives. Some people call the end of the decade 2021, but they're weird because it's not an even number. What are some of your favorite moments from the past decade? Like, do you have like a favorite moment in either MMA or grappling that you have had
Your career. Let's stick to your career.
Let's just go ahead
last
and
10 years. Yeah. Is there a moment that stands out?
In my career.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
No one gives a shit about Gordon's. It's over. I'm kidding. That's a little preface for the next
It's over.
question.
Yeah, good point. He is retired now.
We're at 10. I can't believe we haven't asked you a Gordon question yet. Neither have any of our fans. But we're just catching up with Garry, who's one of our I hate to be nice to you on the podcast. One of our favorite people on the planet. You've been fighting a long ass time, but 2010 to 2020. Is there a moment where you're like, that's where Garry Tonon launched? Don't say it in the third person like I just did. You're going to sound like an asshole. Is there something you can point to that you think was the moment where you changed into something else? Because now I would agree you're something else.
It was probably when I was in the parking lot with John Danaher and Eddie Bravo discussing I think they were attempting to have a serious discussion about like EBI and like why like
what
87 10th Planet people were able to like get into an EBI, but like we couldn't have like two like
what year is this?
couldn't have like two like Henzo guys or DDS guys in there, and they're like having it out. But like I had just watched Human Centipede 1, 2, and 3 the day beforehand, and I was just like really amped up about it, and I was talking to Eddie about it and going into serious detail, and John had to silence me. It was probably like the first time I ever had John just publicly try to be like, Garry, you need to stop. Please stop talking about Human Centipede right now. It's not the time. It's not the time, Garry. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew that I'd made it.
When is this? Can you give me a year ballpark?
I guess this is like probably 4 years ago, something like that. 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. So you're going a sharp incline. I dig it.
Yeah,
all right.
Kev, you know what's weird about this is I go back, especially when we have like, you know, our yearly, it's been another year kind of a thing. And I look at old clips. There's clips of me giving Garry a hard time for being too mean to Gordon that I look at and I'm like, I didn't date well.
Yeah. Knew it. Knew that wasn't going to age well. I told you guys that. Fucking warned everybody. Nobody listened.
Wait, but to be
fair, you're being mean to Gordon. Why are you so mean to this kid? I don't understand. Yeah, now you all fucking know. You all know. Not a single soul wonders why I was mean to him now. They probably look back on that kind of stuff and like, oh, wow, he was right. This is a monster.
I'm actually
that he tried to keep in a cage.
I'm looking at a note
we've
card
let him out.
Me. It's like you were a huge Gordon defender. It's like, God damn it, you're right, Garry Tonon. Shit.
There's a very funny moment where I asked you to like say one nice thing about Gordon to his face. And there was a moment where you were so angry at him that you were trying to find a way to say something nice. And this clip to me was like the exact moment where I go, wait a minute. Oh shit, we're about to learn something very soon. Oh shit. And then King Gordon, the character, took off. And that's where I started to realize I was like, so every year when I would look at that clip or it would come up in my memories on Instagram or something, I would just be like, I mean, I wasn't wrong to chastise you for it. Because you definitely had a version where you weren't explaining what was really going on, but you definitely saw on your face that was just like, if you guys only knew the things he was saying, and we were just like, Garry, shut up.
But by fully describing the situation to you, I was only fueling egotistical fire. You know, I couldn't the more I went into it, it was only going to get worse. You know, now that you guys know the full picture, do you feel any better about it?
I mean, I don't know what to do with it. I look at those clips and I'm like, I don't know that I would play it any different or have reacted any differently. But you tried to run off with his belt at one point, and I grabbed it from you before he was doing it. And then I looked at that with retrospect and was like, maybe I should have just let him take the belt and see what happens. Fuck it. You know what?
This is a tough moment. where the media owes the fighter an apology, but it's like,
No.
I mean, I kind of wish I had just let Garry be a dick to him and been on his side for a few more years. Like, what was my issue that I was like, no,
like deathbed thoughts.
No, this Gordon kid's fine, everybody. And it's like, now I look at him, the steroided up motherfuckers riding around in his F-150, just like, Christmas is ruined. I retire. Go fucking write your pieces. And it's like, fuck you.
It's amazing.
I'm trying to get some vacation with my family here, you piece of shit. Like, now I have to engage in other things and figure out if anyone cares. It's turns out 50-50.
Garry, how many questions did you get on your social media asking if the retirement was real?
I mean, tons. I mean, a lot of people just like would ask me in person. I get messages on pretty much every social media outlet about that.
That's not
text
in person.
messages, phone calls. My mom asked me about it. So, I mean, pretty much everyone in my life was asking about it. I hate to admit things like that, to give Gordon, again, more fuel for that ego fire.
Here we go.
That people actually give a shit what he does on a day-to-day basis, even though he, strangles grown men in tights for a living. And, yeah.
But he's done
true.
now. So, like, now, Garry, you're the most active grappler on the Danaher Death Squad. You know what I mean?
Well, I mainly just heard Kev groan there.
Oh, sorry. I was singing while Raph asked a question. Raph, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Garry, you're the most active grappler now that Gordon is dead.
Okay.
So, it's not that bad. I mean, now you go back to being what I believe Flow Grappling called you, the world's most exciting grappler. Oh, wait, no, that was me 5 years ago. Take that, Flow Grappling, dicks.
Yeah, but I mean, I was also called by the ONE FC announcers the Harry Potter of Jiu-Jitsu. I feel like that's a much more prestigious title.
God, I swore I said that one too. I swore I said all of these guys.
I'd accept it more if they would tell me what's in that fucking briefcase they gave you. Then I'd let them tell you. They can call you whatever they want. If there's a tiny wand in there, sure. You're the Harry Potter. I would argue it's less magic and more really attentive detail to takedown technique. But, you're the one that's the expert here. Is this your way of dodging? Is Gordon, you're the closest to him. You're the natural person to ask this question to. Is he retiring from jiu-jitsu like you retired from jiu-jitsu, which is where you're fighting human beings with your fists and being like, occasionally I'll come back and slum with you assholes. Like, of course I'm going to come back and have sex with the person that I used to enjoy in high school. Look, I'm not an elitist. Or is this a situation where he's really graduating and not going to be coming back to enjoy our spoils? Because mostly I felt like it was one of those, look, I'm focused on MMA and this is my truck stunts. But I'll let you color in if you feel comfortable, or you can tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's a real retirement and he just focuses on going into jiu-jitsu media and just goes in and crushes like insignificant podcasts like these.
Here we go. Such an asshole.
And really,
chance he gets.
Like,
I started it. I did start it.
BJJ Eastern Europe articles, and I hope he just starts his own thing and just runs with that and starts challenging you guys to fistfights.
If he had the right advisor, it wouldn't take him 27 episodes. Now, he needs to find the right advisor. And that is where Raph and I will laugh ourselves to sleep at night, enjoying that Mike Shore is very much employed. Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing his first podcast after telling everybody that they need to go kill themselves probably gets removed in some way by some social media source.
100%.
So I don't know how much you guys really have to worry about it. Before Gordon could ever really be a threat, he'd probably have to find some way to tone down the persona that people think is a persona, but is actually how he feels about the earth.
Who he is. It's an exaggerated version of who he is. It's a very interesting version because, we did commentary together for BJJ Fanatics, which.
How did that go, by the way?
Not bad.
It was
You
actually
didn't hate it?
good. They were good together. They weren't. They didn't have the comedy that you and Raph would have, but Gordon was down to answer some
Don't patronize
questions.
me. Don't try to make me feel better about this.
If I was going to
This,
patronize it, I did.
to be fair-
Oh, look, they didn't have the sexual chemistry
treacherous
you and
act.
Ref have. That's right. I said it.
Oh,
They didn't have
now
the
Gary
chemistry.
can't stand when I'm interviewing some other athlete. I see how it is, Gary.
I'm still pissed
isn't
you
it?
took the show to announce with someone else, Raph. Gary and I are on the same team here.
We've never even have we even done commentary before together, Raph?
Cheating
really? Gordon's gonna be
bastard.
the first time.
Go ahead, Raph. Explain yourself.
I'll explain my goddamn self. Here's the difference. This is why I love this, because for me, I love doing commentary, and I don't care who you pair me up with. It's gonna be good. So I know,
like a regular street whore.
honestly,
I don't care who you pair me up with.
Listen,
I'll
I
just-
could
Hey,
cheese
I'll
all
just
Raph,
walk around
this is
somebody
your
in this
co-host,
goddamn sport as
Wanda.
a good
She's gonna be
broadcast
here
leader.
to help you out with some of the color.
But I knew I was like in for it because I saw him commentate the first one, and I said, okay, and I made notes. And I actually, before we went to air, I was like, hey, man, I have some notes and I have some things I want to do. And Gordon was very nice. He was very complimentary. And I think it helps that.
He's like, oh, that's cute. It's cute that you think you're going to contribute to this.
I mean, the hard part is that while Gordon doesn't fear me in any way in jiu-jitsu, I think he knows that my brain and mouth power is not very weak. So at the very least, he knows that I can make fun of him very badly.
Please tell me one of the notes said, no one can hear how many abs you have.
No, I think one of the notes
Damn
was,
it! Damn it! Call me next time, Raph. I have 27 Gordon insults ready.
One of the notes I think I did have written down was, my breaking case of emergency. Like, you have kryptonite for Superman. So one of the jokes I had in mind was going to be like, listen, dude, the dye job is clearly getting a little inside of your brain. So I don't know what you're using here, but it's really starting to seep in and the brain cells are starting to die here. But I didn't have to use any of that because he was very nice. And then someone got punched in front of both of us. And then we were both like, what?
God, that was such a beautiful moment.
His commentary was good. You two were good.
Such a
I actually
beautiful
said
moment.
that already publicly, Gary. So that hurts.
I would be welcome to do any commentary with Gary at any point in time.
Gross.
I would say that we would have to come to some sort of comedy agreement that the athletes should be first and foremost talked about, and then we could rip on each other in the in-between times. Because I have a strict policy of really trying to do as much of what's happening in front of you as a commentator, as opposed to me being like, hey, Gary, why are you so fucking dumb? And then going on a thing like that.
I'm sure you'd have to restrain yourself heavily in that situation. I'm sure you'd really have to hold yourself back in order to accomplish those goals. But I think you're probably in the right on that one. I think sometimes when Hinato does his commentary stuff, like, people are like, who's this fucking asshole? Like, we're not even talking about the matches anymore.
It is tough because that is what you're paying for. So it's like, a clown that comes to your kid's party that doesn't do fucking balloon animals. And you're like, bro, I thought you did that shit. So if he doesn't do that, I kind of get it. But I would say this. When I was working with Gordon, and it was very funny to, say and do all the things, there was a moment where I was just kind of like, I wonder if he's feeling like he can do this forever. And now I get the opportunity where I see he gets one fucking goddamn truck and goes, nah, I'm done. And I'm thinking this is a missed opportunity, not only for an American truck, by the way, but for an opportunity. Like, couldn't you see Ford doing a commercial? It's like, Gordon Ryan wants to find the country that he loves so much that he got in a truck and he gave up grappling. America, done.
Cue the can snap.
And then all of a sudden you just hear in the
rhythm.
background, like a rock. So, that was my only thing on that. Well, I'm glad,
Make it a
Gary,
Bud Light.
that you are back to being the primary focus of the Danaher Death Squad as the main American you have there. And I say that because, Nicky Rod is Jersey, and that's barely American if you ask most people.
Wow. Wow. That's a harsh statement.
I mean, you know what? Hey, listen, I'll deal with his jokes later.
I feel like Jersey is probably more American than most states.
Yeah,
like what?
Sadly for them, there's 17 tolls before they can listen to this podcast, so it's difficult.
Yeah, what's more American than thievery from the government?
Having less than 12 fucking tolls to get to Atlantic City. Try that. At least
whatever, you socialist.
At least there's good. At least.
Well, there was
Sorry,
a reason,
as someone that's
Kev.
gone to the Tropicana many times while they lived in D.C., I'm offended by how many times I had to stop and pay someone money to drive in New Jersey. It was like, I didn't choose to go through this state.
We do it just that insult to injury, really.
You forced me to go through you
we want
and
you
take
to think about all your
right.
life decisions that led to that moment.
Oh, it was as reflective as any acid trip I've ever had. Not that I've ever done it, though. I've heard it's great. It was as honestly, it was ayahuasca for the East Coaster. Just drive to Atlantic City. You're gonna find out so much about you and your friends. It's great.
I really hope that ayahuasca for like Easterners is just a Four Loko can that you tell them that is like, dude, this is gonna change your life, man.
Trust us, bro.
Yeah, no, that's pork roll for us in Jersey.
Fair enough. You got
that's ayahuasca.
Your
just
local
go, man. You gotta try this. You gotta try this really salty ham with cheese and eggs. It's delicious. It's gonna change your life.
They call
Nobody
it
else has it.
kolache in Texas. Fuck those guys. It's like, yeah.
Well, Garry, we did bring you on for ish reason. We are sorry to inform you that as our grappler of the decade in a match or whatever, we didn't really figure out the wording of it. We don't have anything for you. So
no, nothing.
What we do have is the honor
just like my dad this Christmas.
Oh,
hold on.
up.
We have the same title you have on your Instagram, Best No-Gi Grappler 2016. And we couldn't agree more. In 2016, he was probably the best no-gi grappler. I don't remember 2016. There were a lot of Quaaludes involved, but presumably he rocked it. So
yeah, I mean, all I know is that was a way better year than 2019.
Damn right. Turn that 6 upside down. You know what it is? None of your fucking business. This is Garry Tonon.
Garry before the show is
my
basically
fucking year, man. That's what I'm going to be rambling on about to my. Well, I probably won't have grandkids, but
you should tell them about
school children that visit me at the nursing home.
You should tell them about
2016.
Yeah, when you won that Studio 540 super fight. Or Eddie Bravo 9 minus 205.
I went there. Gordon got crushed by Felipe.
Polaris
Not
4.
me,
They're like, did you say Polaris whore? It was like, I said Polaris 4. Grappling Pro. It's like, did you say grappling hoe? It's like, who was the one that fucking started that? I know you're doing it now.
Did you say Submission Circus 7? Yeah, whatever, old man.
You know how this 2016 started with a Metamoris 7 super fight, sir. So let's just all take a moment to remember how eager you were for work in 2016. It was a beautiful year.
Yeah.
You would choke anyone out for
$1.
Rob was really
upset with me about that. Rob was like genuinely mad. Rob genuinely did not want me to have a match with Halleck. Like I messaged Raph and I was like kind of excited about the situation. I'm like, oh man, there's going to be so much opportunity for comedy here. Like I'm going to be fighting like this guy that literally doesn't know where he is. It's just going to be so easy. And Ross is just like, I'm a little disappointed in you. And I just was not expecting that at all.
Do I owe you a thank you on behalf of comedy?
Did it was
Raph
a proverbial, like, me choosing to fight Halleck to Raph was just like a proverbial cop-out again, like comedy-wise.
Raph slipped.
He's just like, really? That's what you're going to do?
Raph drifted into
you're gonna take the easy road?
Again, I would like to publicly thank you for Metamoris 7. You really took one for the team, and you submitted that piece of shit. That felt good.
The dumbest part of that scenario, Garry. It's like, okay, you have to understand, from my position, I can look at it on multiple angles. The first angle is it funny? Not really, though I did put together a very funny version of I took it off. I wasn't going to promote any part of it because we still hadn't paid the athletes. And guess what? Much like OJ's Killers, still out there somewhere is the money that has never been paid to the
I'm going to take a quick
I thought you were going
to
say the. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going to take a quick time out to say what Halleck did might not be completely remembrant of what OJ Simpson did. So perhaps we don't want to get too crazy down that. But Raph, the show is yours. Verbal Tap Legal is sweating balls and needles. But you go ahead. Finish your thought.
Appreciate it, Kev. Now, when you called me and told me about this, I said, okay, from a match standpoint, that's terrible. Like, but I'm happy you're going to take it as a revenge sort of a thing. And when I said to you, I was like, are you going to get paid? And you go, and hearing you say that was enough for me to be like, then why are we doing this exercise? Now, granted, you did get paid, right?
I did. Okay.
Well, that's
Gary
a fun
asked for that
exercise.
shit up front. He's like, check, bitch. This was a year Gary was like, I am not some simple brown belt. You will pay me before I get there.
And it was more so at a time where I said I was going to take that one off from doing any kind of promotions because it was still like, can we just pay these people? Like, granted, it's nice that we have money for Gary. But if you had that money, then why not pay some of these other people and just call it a day or recoup or do something or literally anything else? But instead, he said, let me roll the dice and get people to watch me and Gary go against each other. And then on paper, you say, is that a good match? And obviously, you showed us it was not. So, no, unfortunately, that did not make anybody's best of the decade lists, despite many, many Gary times, I'm sure, getting on the internet and voting for himself and being like, how about that Halleck versus Gary match? That was hot fire. Better than Crone match, I know.
2016 is just a 180-degree turn away from 2019. So vote for me versus Halleck.
Yeah, man.
But yes, I do. I remember that. And I remember us having a very lengthy discussion because the rest of us were just like, Gary, you're going to give this guy an extra heartbeat for something that should really just die and that we're really just going to have to see go on. And guess what? You didn't just do it. Then Gordon decided, you know what's even more fun? To show another non-competitive match.
Yeah, like just taking my ex-girlfriend immediately afterwards.
I know.
It's just like, yeah.
So anyways.
You just named a better web series than what they produce.
Well, here's the good news, Kev.
I mean, it was kind of the nail in the coffin, though, to be fair. Like me and Gordon beating him up.
Tell me
you
this.
know what I mean? Like he's not had to resurface
right now,
since
Gary.
then.
Tell me this right now, right here, so that we can mark this, just like I marked on video saying, you be nice to Gordon, Ryan, Garry Tonon. You tell me right now that you don't think that they will try to revive that shit. Because
try sure.
Hold on.
No.
Think about this.
Can I take over for Garry Tonon? Raph, there's no goddamn way they're trying that shit again. Come on. You're not going to open up another company named Enron, call it Welcome to Investment. Like, you would open it like welcome to BP's Louisiana terrorist shell. They're going to show you all about how they leaked, and you can live the Mark Wahlberg film. No goddamn way.
You're giving him, Halleck, enough credit to believe that he's able to think that out rationally and say, yeah, we
Are you talking to me right now?
We should probably just die.
Are you arguing with me? Metamoris is coming back in the same way the Little Mermaid did. No one's going to talk about it. No one's going to acknowledge it. We're going to love the songs of the old siren and hope it didn't happen.
Okay,
that's what's going to happen.
Let me bring this up. Every couple years, I want to say almost 18 months to be exact, Metamoris deletes all of their content. There's only like 5 posts on there now, I'm sure, or something like that. And then all of a sudden, they put out like one photo. And every time they put up that photo, it's always like, what do you guys think? Should we? and they always put some vague description. And so it's always like teasing that it's going to come back. But if there's anything Star Wars should teach us in real life, it's that motherfuckers always find a way to come back. So when you think they're dead and they've fallen down some large amount of a space chute, they're still alive somehow. So when I ask you, Garry Tonon, when you're like, well, we basically, we put a stake through that heart. I'm like, I'd like to see the receipts. I believe that they will still try to bring it back. I just don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I can't discount that because it's like one of the most erratic people on the planet. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's kind of like Kev said, though. I just don't think anybody is going to go with it. Like, fool me once, shame on you, I guess.
Talking
fool me
about
37 times, shame on
Garry,
the entire grappling community.
You have to see on those posts, they still have people who are like, you did it up big. We all owe it to you guys. They always do it like that.
I was honestly going to say 9 out of 10 of their releases feature Garry Tonon or a member of the Danaher squad. So everybody, hey, Gordon's retired. Has he? Because I can only imagine Metamoris is going to be making money off that shit for a few more blonde years. Gordon.
Anyway, I would say this to both of you gentlemen. I believe that, Garry, yes, even though we have nothing for you, there's not like an award, we didn't carve anything out of wood, we didn't make anything, we do bestow upon you the honor to help us hand out some other insignificant awards. Much like everybody else does their year and decade retrospectives, we're calling these the verbal tappies. So would you like to hand out some with us, Kevin?
I'd love to.
Okay, now ask Garry if he would like to.
Garry, would you like to? Be honest.
Well, since you guys are asking so nicely, I guess I could help you with your little childish games.
That was a semi-yes.
That was good enough for us.
Semi-yes.
Kev, I believe you already have the first set of nominees. Would you please go through them?
Who do you have for MMA Fighter of the Year, Garry Tonon?
MMA Fighter of the Year.
MMA. You're in this list. You're not in our official list.
No.
But you could be in this list. So you are particularly receptive to who would you least want to fight this year, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got it. Oh, wait, are we doing it? Are we doing of the year or of the decade? I forget.
The year. Of the year. No one can remember the decade on this phone call.
Yeah, true.
Profoundly, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta kind of give it to Khabib, don't we?
So,
I mean,
you are
pretty
already.
much.
You are I would call you the most recent style bender for your ability to hot take it because you're the man. So I actually fucking agree with you. He murdered Conor McGregor. He put him in the ground. Yeah. He made us forget who that Irish motherfucker was and get super irritated by that noise he makes at the end of the Proper 12 commercial. But MMA News has it as Israel Adesanya. With Masvidal, Cejudo, Usman, and Khabib getting recognition along with Douglas Lima. And I love that Douglas Lima's in this list. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all, MMA News.
I fight for Bellator. That's a real place.
Thank you. I love Doug Lima, but I was like, wait, what? You have him next to the Khabib Israel Adesanya? It's like Israel Adesanya did a fully vertical cartwheel. Garry Tonon, what say you to Israel Adesanya as the nominee?
Well, I mean, Israel Adesanya is definitely like, if you're going to put somebody else on that list and try to make an argument, I mean, that's a pretty strong case. I don't know who else. That's just about as strong of a case as you could possibly make on the other direction. So, I mean, I wouldn't really try to argue too hard that that's not the case because I mean, he has been a really, a breakout star, and he's fought many more times. How many times did he fight this year?
Oh,
he's just been.
Does this look like Verbal Tap Fact Check Department? We have a lawyer, We have a sound editor, and we have some asshole that keeps shouting times at me. We don't have someone that fact checks your shit real time. Raph,
You
your
don't have
thoughts?
like what's the guy's name on the Rogan podcast that just looks shit up?
Young Jamie, pull that shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys got to get a pull that shit up guy.
We will publicly state this. We don't quite yet have Joe Rogan money. That's a tough thing for us to say out loud.
Really? I thought you guys were doing really well.
We are.
We're
We
doing
are.
well for grappling shows.
It's
We're good there.
We still don't have our fact checker.
No.
Raph, are you good with this, Israel Adesanya?
You guys can't get an intern?
Shut up, Gary. I'm trying to have a fucking conversation with this show.
Come on, I'm talking about an unpaid internship here.
You are
Can't be that
talking
hard.
about
somebody that knows how to use Google.
You teach grappling.
You'd be surprised.
At third,
I
on
would
your
say
Vita.
that's pretty good. I like Izzy a lot on that one. I think he had a breakout year. I would say this though, Gary. Who was the grappler of the year?
Man. Grappler of the year. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened.
That's how we feel. As
we
fans.
all know I'm never going to give it to Gordon.
That's perfectly fine, and
Who?
we're okay with that on this show.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been okay with that like years ago when we were talking about when I was making fun of Gordon and you were unaccepting of it.
That was Gordon
You were
Bryan.
like, oh, come on. He won the absolute division and his division in 80s. How could you not say he's the grappler of the year? That's my impression of you, I guess.
I was just gonna say, was
I'm
that
not
us?
saying that at
That's
all.
how I love it,
You know
Rap.
what?
I thought he crushed me. I will say, I feel like I was fully methoded there. That's
I'm just saying
That was
Gary,
good.
If you don't have Gordon as your answer, at least have someone that shows that you have someone else in mind that's more deserving, ready at the hand. Otherwise, it just sounds like you're making up more people not to give it to Gordon.
You were too upset to say Leandro
I mean, that's
Lowe.
definitely
Why don't
exactly
you
what I'm
announce
doing,
that
though.
out loud. Or you'd be like, I couldn't say Leandro Lowe for two reasons. One, can't pronounce it. Two, wouldn't pronounce it.
Gary, let me show you how it's done. Can't be Gordon because he never competed in the gi.
Oh,
true.
boom,
Good point.
smack. The Jiu-Jitsu crowd, the MMA crowd, everybody that just has a tap out shirt was like,
for the
the
record, I
fuck
want
are
to
you-
make sure that Gary
Is it gi?
did blindly agree to a gi as a qualifier.
I
for
don't
grappler
remember it,
right now.
Raph.
I mean, are you even a grappler if you're not like consistently training and competing in the gi? It's not all, like
Do your knuckles feel good and your laundry bill feel light? Well, you're a fucking poser. Little grappling, little verbal tap commercial. I would like to say I'm kidding. I use a gi. Sorry, Raph.
That's fair. Gary, just name anybody. Literally, just come up with a name for grappler of the year.
Nicky Rod, after you pierce his nipples.
AJ
early.
Agazarm, probably.
That's
I would
you know
say
what? That's a
that'd
great
be like my
honor,
number
Gary.
2.
That's a good one.
That's a lot of people's number two.
Yeah.
That's great.
That'd be either that or probably Dennis, Dylan Dennis. You know, I would go with either one of them.
We just covered his whole fight schedule on a recent episode because he is booked a fight coming up, Gary.
Does he?
That was how we felt.
He fights?
Yes, he does. It's funny you mentioned. And he won't be on the Conor McGregor fight on the UFC. He'll be on the card where they're shipping them overseas. So
Now, to be fair, everybody that we did open this up to, we got a handful of submissions when we said best MMA fight of the decade. And Dylan versus Khabib got a number of notices. So just let's not mock what was truly an impressive achievement in 10-second brawls.
I mean, it's hard to take a flying kick to the face. I mean, I'm just impressed that he was, still had his wits about him.
yeah.
There's nothing I love more than people going like,
I had
you
a
know,
sexual
that
escapade that
split
went
second.
south on me once. Knee right to the face, and it did not go well.
But the people
Wow.
who are like, you know what, for that split second, Dylan, he stood his ground, man. He was in it.
He was.
Well, okay. So those are some good ones. I think this is a much easier category. Gary, who was the breakthrough grappler on Instagram this year?
Ooh. Man, Instagram personality for grapplers. Gordon's kind of always done the same thing.
Fair.
So we definitely aren't giving that to
Stop talking
him.
about Gordon. That is only one of 4 reasons we brought you on this podcast.
Man, I would say I'm going to go with Nicky Rod on this one. Yeah, that's where my bias would lie. I mean,
Kev?
What was the category again? Because I got distracted by fight event of the year on our other list.
It is best grappler on Instagram. And Kevin doesn't do Instagram, so Kevin can basically just name anybody.
No. But I've thought about this a little bit. Because to me, this is easily one of those 2 Austin Checkmat brothers. What are their names?
Oh, I don't know.
The Tackett Bros?
Thank you. The Tackett brothers are my clear nominee for the Instagram darlings.
It's fair. You know what? He did have one of the most replayed moments.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He got smacked in his face, and it wasn't his fault. He did. I would argue.
Careful.
No
careful
one's
there. Smacked in the face.
Wait. Careful. Which part of what I said are you warning me about? That wasn't his fault.
Smacked?
He was smacked in the face by.
Smacked.
He was smacked. Yes.
I'm upset. I'm upset by the nomenclature.
My
God. We're going to choose the word smacked.
If you had said you were coming
Does
on
that
to
really
defend,
do it justice?
If you had said you were coming on to defend Tex Johnson, I would have been like, oh, okay. Gary's out of options. He's no longer fighting in any. But you have options. I know you do. So it's shocking to me that this is the take you're coming in hot on. Yeah, smacked in the face was a Tackett brother.
I'm gonna go with saying that was a clear punch to the face. We're gonna say smack.
Okay,
like, that's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with like how you make it seem like it wasn't that severe.
Oh
big
wow!
deal. Oh yeah,
this is shocking.
You just got slapped like AJ or something like that.
Okay, no. We're back on the same side, Gary. We might as well.
Okay.
We might as well.
I could tell you thought I was on the other side of
union.
things, which would have been funny.
I thought you were about to be like, that was barely a kiss. I was gonna be like, I've lost my mind. I don't know what's okay anymore. No,
I thought about saying that. I did.
Gary and I had a moment where I realized in an exchange, Gary said I was like, Gary, I'm immortalized now as being the guy who was on the mic on that one. Gary's like, I never actually heard what was said there. And I was like, oh, if you hear it, you will definitely hear me. And Gary, why don't you try and recreate how I sounded on that call?
And up. Whoa.
It's you and Gordon, and you're both like, well, the fight was going on in. Oh,
whoa.
Shit.
Because who expects to get smacked, or I'm sorry, Gary, punched in the middle of
right
a round like that? Like, there's a lot of things I expect, but that was not one of them. And then when I do, and me being like, well, it looks like he's starting to push. Whoa! And then realizing, like, shit, Andrew Dice Clayed me. Fuck. That's what I'm going to sound, is being like, he got a hit in the face, and no! So now I'm listening to that, and I go, well, that's my voice now forever on that
You're
call.
the woe guy.
I am the woe guy. And to be fair, I beg someone to go back in time and live that one differently. But that was definitely the reaction that was pure in my heart at that time. But I do love the immediate note from Gordon right after was, that's an immediate DQ. Everybody knows that.
I loved
Tech
it.
should be ashamed of himself.
So much.
I don't know why we're not doing an immediate DQ right now, because if you look at him, he's clearly already gone against the rules. And I was like, no, Gordon, nobody cares what you think. Dude. It's about what's going to happen.
We were with him. If you're watching it, you're like, God, Gordon's right.
Not wrong.
Like, he's so right with every part of what he called immediate DQ, and they're like, let's everybody hear it out. And I was like, oh, I forgot this is America. Yeah, this is a great country, isn't it? Like, fuck it.
Jesus,
let it go.
Bro.
The only thing that makes
so
it a little
crazy.
funnier, though, was the fact that afterwards that the good folks at BJJ Fanatics were like, oh, you know what? It's our fault. We forgot to say no punching.
Let's give out another award. Does Garry Tonon have a comp award. Garry, is there anyone that has ever hit, punched, smacked, or poked you that hard during a match?
Just me and Gordon probably, but not during an actual match. That's us
Not
training.
during an
Us
actual
training, we
match.
get into fist fights sometimes, but during a match, I think probably the closest is like I would say Wagner Hosha. He'll like rip your fingers. He'll like twist your fingers back and shit. I'm trying to think who else. Anything significant? I was expecting Paul Harris to club me hard in the head because he does that to almost everybody, and didn't get that from him. So
I think he was worried
Not really sure.
if he reached that far away from his ankle, you'd heel hook him. He was like, shit.
Maybe.
Son of a bitch.
Kevin, I'm going to open this one up to you. This one is an important one. It was most fixed match of the year in MMA.
Yeah. Does that Tito match count versus whoever the fuck he fought?
Versus Alberto Del Rio, the pro wrestler from WWE.
Does that count?
Yeah, I mean, do you call it a match?
Cool.
Or do you
Does
not?
it matter? Because the best answer is Fabricio Verdum. No. I'm sorry. It was Brock Lesnar versus.
No.
Oh my God. Oh, who's the Mexican fighter? He's on the Modelo. Cain Velasquez. He's on the Modelo commercial. God damn it.
There. Mm-hmm.
Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar. There I did it.
Well, okay. Gary,
I came up with the two most fixed fights of 2019, and I crushed that quick.
It was pretty good. Gary, do you have a contender for most fixed match of the year?
Yeah, I think probably Khabib versus Conor again. I think Conor obviously took a dive.
Obviously, absolutely. Well, here's the good news, Gary. I'm so glad that you said it like that because we also have to hand you the most fixed ADCC match of all time between you and Gordon. So congratulations. Not only did you get Grappler of the something, but you also are a double winner here for most fixed match between Gordon and
honestly, I wish that it was because it would be less embarrassing. But yeah, no, pretty much just fucking fucked up and got my back taken really quickly.
Well, Gary, you know
and
what's
then once
crazy?
I did, I had one arm behind my back. I had Gordon strangling me with one hand. He's at a full figure four, I'm pretty sure, around my torso. And I'm thinking to myself, as this is happening, I'm going, well, you can't, there's really nowhere you're going to go. It's not getting any better than this. There is no, sure, I just put out an Escape DVD. Just to let you guys know, when your arm is trapped against your waist and somebody locks a full figure four and they have an arm already around your neck, unlikely. You're probably not going anywhere. It's probably the end of the match.
I'm just going to say
so
this,
I'm
Gary.
thinking this.
Yeah. Go ahead. You finish.
I was just saying I'm thinking this in the match, and I'm like, yeah, this is the end. I'd like to tap now so I don't have to endure any more of this because this is the end. However, if I do that, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, he just fucking gave up. It was a fucking fixed match. So I'm like, okay, I have to now try to survive as long as I possibly can, short of going unconscious, in this strangle situation where an arm's already around my neck and I have no way to defend it whatsoever. So I just had to fucking choke on my own spit for 10 to 15 seconds before I felt it was I was capable of tapping to the strangle and making it not feel to other people like I just gave up or some shit. It's just like, dude, my fucking hand's behind my back. What do you guys want from me?
So there's two things I guess we have here. One, did Danaher go away at that point? Did he not coach either of you? Did he pick a side? Was he just in the middle? Did he go outside and have a smoke? What did he do during that?
I'm assuming he took out two voodoo dolls and started stabbing one of them with fucking pins. That's probably how he made the match happen like that.
I'm pretty
the
sure
only way I can reconcile losing to Gordon.
I think he was pretty much happy of just looking over at you and going oh goody, my Christmas is here. Excellent.
So you were the minus 77 category. Gordon was the minus 99. I want to talk about what was voted most sexual match of 2019.
Most sexual match.
And that is you versus Dante Leon. Do you have comments? You're winning a second category. This is unbelievable.
This is third category, actually.
Third category.
I get most sexual. Damn. Well, first off, I couldn't be prouder.
You don't sound surprised. I'll say that. As everyone noticed, he's like, wow, that's what a non-surprise award I've won. Dante, I thought that too. I actually thought that too. He just said that to Verbal Tap Legal. We had to edit it out.
I was so happy about the fact that like Kevin comes up with a dubious award and Garry is in on the joke and then just goes, I mean, well, thank you. That, you know, it's just nice to be recognized. You know, like, thanks, dude.
Finally, somebody noticed.
It's just you put your work out there, and you hope
you
somebody down there.
spin, you turn, you take those wrestling takedowns with a little panache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you believe was the most sexual part of that match?
Oh, it's hard to pinpoint, but from his abs
if we could just
to
let me smell my own
your
farts for a
spinning
moment.
ability, and then you really, I thought you pushed the action right at the right time. Things got hot, things got quiet, things got downright punchy in those last 3 minutes. That's why I felt was sexual.
All right, very good, very good.
Well,
I'm not going to argue.
What was your key to
Certainly
success?
not going to argue against it.
KY lube? Did you use like a heating lubricant? What did you do?
Dude, heating lubricants. Let's talk about that for a minute. Like, speaking of like dubious sells, like, I don't know what marketing team got together and was like, hey, we're going to take this idea, we'll call it like warming lubricant, right? And it sounds good. Like, all right, warm. That's great. You know, all right, that sounds like it's something desirable.
Heating
and then when
is
people
frequently
go to use
what's
it,
used.
they're literally going to burn themselves alive from the inside. Like,
how dare you?
So, and then they have the audacity to come out and make fire and ice condoms.
Did you light
Now,
candles first?
Do fire and ice sound like anything you want anywhere near your genitals?
No.
How, at that marketing meeting, how did they're like, yeah, we can sell that. Your genitals on fire.
Hold
Your
on.
genitals
I'm looking at
frozen.
Verbal Tap Legal. If Garry Tonon brings up his genitals, am I allowed to talk about them? And they said no. This is bullshit. I've been silenced.
One dude who was in the meeting, when they go, all right, guys, you know, the market's getting a little rough out there. How are we going to break through? What are we going to do next? And one guy just goes, well, does anybody else put Icy Hot on their fucking genitals? And it's just silent. And then everybody goes, you know what? We're just out of ideas. Give it to Jim. He's had a rough year this year.
Yeah. We can sell that. Yeah, insanity.
Know, dude. That's a pretty fucking that's a different world. Now, having said that, if Kevin went that way, Garry, what was the least sexual?
Least sexual.
Least sexual, like one you look at and go, I don't want to look at this.
Keenan's ADCC performance.
No.
Nice.
Oh, Garry, wait, hold on. That brings up a good idea. I guess the other thing we should hand out to the Blue Basement is an honorary recognition of being called the Pink Basement for the month of September.
For most eye venereal diseases that could possibly happen.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to prevent the team from diseases like this for a long period of time. And
I hope that's
a lot
on
of people's
Danaher's
methods.
DVD this week, How to Keep a Clean Gym.
Well, like a lot of people were talking about, all right, well, we need to clean the mats more. We need to like check people as they're coming in that are visitors. And John was like, yeah, we can't like keep having these visitors come in and this, that, and the other thing. But like my approach was to just explain to the team the importance of ass eating and health. Like it's kind of like a probiotic in a way. And I just really felt like if the team added that in more as a whole, they would be much more resistant to any of these potential diseases. But I think they're leaving themselves open because they're, leaving too pure of a lifestyle here.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, but we have to move on to another award, and this one is for
Wow.
the. Well, what else
We're
do
just
you
gonna-
want me to say off that? When you get to the ass eating portion, there's not a way to top that. You just kind of go.
That's where that's too much for you guys. That's
No, I'm just
that's
saying.
the line.
I've seen.
I was critiquing your involvement already. I was like, is he doing a clockwise tongue or a counterclockwise tongue? I wanted to know specifics, and I don't feel like I got it. So,
All right, good.
Look,
At least
if
we
we're
can make
just-
some comment on it, Rob.
if we're
just
trying
gotta
to
brush
be
that one under the rug.
analingus
No, I wanna point
captains,
this out.
we're going to do it in a way that's constructive. Thank you.
Kev, here's what you should know, and that you've never had to sit next to and experience, which is when Garry and his cronies go on eating ass rants.
Super helpful.
This is
if
a
you didn't
real
say
thing.
Sit next
They
to,
talk about
but
it
you
ad
did.
nauseum. So
Okay.
when I'm looking at my podcast and my valuable time on what we can be talking about, I say, if you go down that Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole, we might not end up out of talking about the asshole for about another 20 minutes. Is this accurate, Garry?
Sure, but what's wrong with that?
You know,
Who doesn't
what's
like
really-
going down the rabbit hole? So I'll use your own expression.
Yeah, that's the reason why I made that reference, you dummy.
I was hoping it was an easy layup. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I need these kinds of things.
I know. I try to set you up like fucking Pippen and Jordan, but instead you're just sitting there just being like fucking Kobe Bryant to mix my metaphors. Garry, this is an important fucking category, so I need you to come through on this one though, okay?
I'll take a deep breath.
This is the
Go.
This is the most important, one of the most important ones. It is the Tom DeBlas Award for inspiration on Instagram. Who is going to win that one?
Oof. The Tom DeBlas Inspiration Award. Damn. Who gives the most inspirational?
This is a new
Rant.
award for us here at the Verbal Tappies. We're excited to announce it on the honor of the one and only.
Probably Cyborg. I would go with Cyborg.
Cyborg?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen more inspirational posts after like assaulting a competitor or like it's just really impressive the way he comes back from those tough moments.
You heard it here.
Kev, what do you
It's
have on your side?
It's a heartwarming story.
The most Tom DeBlasian?
Oh, no. You can go on to another category.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I'm hitting back to my MMA categories. Spats you wish you wore. This is a tough category. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Ethan Krenlinson has a style that I just wish I had absorbed. And at ADCC, I felt like there were some people that really encompassed it. But the people demand to know, Garry, you normally
Yes,
go with
sir.
a patriotic sort of Bill the Butcher like look. Are there ever grapplers that wear something you're like, those are spats I wish I wore?
Mostly female grapplers. But other than that,
Learning more
Trying to
and more
think.
about you after your Jessica the Rabbit reindeer bullshit. This is
Yeah,
super
yeah.
helpful.
yeah. Now we're starting to see a trend here. It's good.
You beat Davi Ramos and I can't forgive you. But you tell me the answer to this. You ruined my grappling childhood, you piece of shit.
Oh no! Wow, I didn't know this was I was tugging on heartstrings with that one.
When you beat Davi Ramos, you didn't know you were spitting in the
I
face
didn't know-
of people that started grappling 10 years ago?
Yeah, I didn't know that was your
Well,
man.
now
man.
you do know. It hurt. Davi hurt. We hurt. The Davi Ramos is hurt. That's what we call ourselves.
Sabi Ramai.
I think they're the Dotties.
Fuck you, Garry, with your bullshit. It's not enough to beat him. You don't have to insult our grammar about how we celebrate him. I'm
Well,
back.
I
I'm
mean,
back. I'm
it
fine.
was only the second match that I won via giving the other competitor a heart attack. So
It
it wasn't
said,
entirely a novel experience to me.
it just said decision. So I didn't know what that meant.
I mean, I don't know if that's a great enough description of what went down. But,
What went down? How did Davi Ramos lose to you?
Well, I repeated 1 minute breaks on the sidelines after
kidding?
30 seconds of action. Time after time after time, and then eventually I managed to scramble to his back in like the last 10 seconds and didn't quite get the submission. But in technicality, it was a decision. But in my opinion, it was a win via asthma attack TKO because on multiple occasions he literally couldn't continue. So
that's not his thing. So okay. Well, this is tough because if you started watching grappling, say 10 to 12 years ago, he was one of the first Atos Brazilian people that was like doing cool shit.
Yes, he was submitting people and like trying to submit people, which was kind of cool. Rare to see that many years ago, for sure.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like what you experienced. It sounds like you
it was not
an asthma attack.
Well, things have
bowler.
changed.
Who's changed? What happened?
Things have exchanged positions. And
let me just say something to you.
Fuck
I like
this,
that
Raph.
you're-
I'm gonna throw the microphone off my loft. I'm so angry. This is
My
big.
loft.
This big-titted reindeer is just acing people I used to
let's say
love.
this, though.
It's like,
Garry,
he had
you
an
don't-
asthma attack. Gary's retired. All we're left
saying
with
anything about saying anything about a loft, I feel like just immediately just ruins any argument that you may have had.
Look, I live downtown.
The only thing I'm going to say here about that match in particular, Garry, is I don't know if you know this, and you're like, I don't know why he needed all these breaks. Dude, that's not how he rolls. You've seen him at ADCC. He's all about like, let me just armbar you in 6 seconds. That's my match. I won. Yay. Like, that's what he's looking to do, bro. So the fact that you kept being like, hey, bro, can we keep going until like maybe a submission happens? It's kind of rude. So
yeah, couldn't keep that stroke rate up.
yeah,
You know,
not
wasn't
today,
in it
not
to win
that
it.
day.
Doesn't have that as some would say, that porn star cardio.
No, not there. Well, Garry, I know that you came equipped with a couple last categories that we can give out before we start to wrap things up. So what were some of the categories you were looking to give out?
So I don't think we touched upon most things already.
Okay.
I wanted to go over like who was most likely to get assaulted in a BJJ match, but we kind of already talked about that. But I think there were some contenders there because Gordon got assaulted this year, Tackett. I don't know if AJ got assaulted this year during a grappling match, but I assume if he did have any matches, he did.
It's a safe
So
assumption.
I feel like there's quite a few. Like it happens more than we would think it would happen in professional grappling shows. So man, I don't know. So we kind of touched on that. We'll move
Tougher
past that.
category than it normally would be. Keenan got assaulted by the germs of your gym. Oh.
So
let's
Keenan
see.
got assaulted by his own weakness metabolism. There we go.
And then the other one was most likely to die during a serious flexing accident.
uh-oh.
Oh shit.
This one's tough.
You have a lot of teammates that are gonna take this category.
Sure,
personally.
sure. I think like Tom definitely is in the running for that.
To blast? Okay.
Yeah, oh, for sure. The amount of shirtless selfies. See, you need to get
didn't
into the
know
whole
that.
Instagram thing to really understand this community, Kev.
Oh, this is helpful because I just assumed he was over there preaching. Just like, I'm actually going to do 90 minutes on
I think
why
we should
your body
rebrand
doesn't
Tom the
define
Blast
you.
as the shirtless preacher.
Deal.
I think that's a good
genius.
brand for him because it is like a mixture of preaching and just flexing. I would say during the same post or every other post.
Raph has called him Grappling Oprah, which has always been
yes,
super helpful.
First of all, I'm looking to see if shirtless preacher is taken on Instagram while we're on here. But I
If there's
want
not
to
at least one guy preaching shirtless, I'm going to be pissed.
There's a lot of people.
I'm going to
live
start
in
doing
Florida.
it myself if nobody's doing it. We got to
I
fill that
agree.
void real
I
quick.
think
I agree.
I got to go into Arkansas.
Hold
take my
on.
shirt off.
Good news here, though, Garry. There is the shirtless preacher, but not a shirtless preacher.
Okay.
And this dude is named Trevor. And he starts by saying, "No one owes you anything." By the way, he has 1.5 thousand followers. Inspirational speaker. And I believe one of his brackets is he says he's an encourager.
That's not good.
Okay.
You don't ever want to tell people you're an encourager. People should just find that out.
What do you do for a
it.
living? I'm an encourager.
I'm an encourager. It's like, what? It's like, oh, I sell
I don't
heroin.
really do things. I just,
Can I not make that
tell
evident?
other people. I'm just like, you should really do that. Follow your dreams. I know I'm not following mine, but
I just like the idea of if somebody had to write down the traits that they have that are their like best attributes in a group therapy exercise, they'd be like, well, why don't you write down some of yours? And then they get the sharing and they go, well, I'm an encourager. That's it. No, you're going to get another 90 seconds. Come up with something else, dude.
Like
that's definitely something my mom would say.
An encourager. Well, that's good. Kevin, do you have any last categories for us?
I don't, except one. Garry, scale of this is the best new grappler award I think you could give out. Grappler you're most scared of.
Ooh, most scared of?
You heard me. I didn't
I'm
stutter. I'm sorry.
I think I give
I'm so sorry. You're
I
so
think
much better at this than I am. I just want to be clear. Go ahead.
I think I have to give that one to Dennis as well. You know, I really, despite beating him 2 times, I'm just I'm really intimidated.
Yeah,
especially by his posts with women that are drastically more attractive than any woman that I've ever been with. He had Instagram posts with one of my favorite porn stars of all time, and I'm just at this point just crushed emotionally, physically, mentally, sexually. I'm distraught, man.
We've been talking about this.
Scared.
His record is like genuinely 16-0 when his record is not 16-0. It's unbelievable. I think the guy's a real fake it till you make it kind of. Look, you heard it here. Garry Tonon.
What part of that's fake? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Him, not you. It's just like they flock to him like he's won the title. It's amazing.
I mean, you don't think he's the greatest grappler in MMA?
I might.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I might not think he is. He could beat you once or twice. That would be fucking helpful to his cause. That would be super helpful.
Here's something that could.
We already just told you how he did beat me, though. Maybe he wasn't.
He did not. I watched. God damn it! Don't insult me here.
Or maybe there's this. Maybe, and I'm just throwing out weird things here. Maybe he's paying them. You know what I mean? These photos. It could be a thing. You know?
Does that not count?
That's
because I've been counting those experiences. When I tell people my body count, that's usually paid. Usually
Gary's
included.
also like, I've been
I don't
paying
tell
people
anybody
for
that
a
there's
lot
paid
of
included,
years.
but I'm counting it.
I've thrown so
is that
many
not,
dollars.
Is that a taboo? You
and
don't do
so
that.
many semi-attractive people. Are you kidding? Trust me, it's not dollars.
And I have to say, big credit to Garry for knowing exactly the kind of clickbait shit that our podcast needs, but refuses at almost every opportunity, which is the headline of this podcast should be Garry Tonon says he's afraid of Dylan Dennis.
I won't write that out of fear of
None
Garry.
of us will write it, but you know what? Someone will at some point. So let's all look forward to in 6 months when someone stumbles upon this again that they say such a thing. Garry, I'm going to say this for you. The last category is most likely to have a terrible 2020 in MMA and grappling is.
Oh, damn. I hate to keep drawing this back. Nah, I won't even. He's retired now.
You retired?
Terrible. Who would have a terrible? Not me.
Oh.
So.
Sorry.
Terrible 2020.
That wasn't a
have
prediction.
The worst one. I mean, I think that. I'm just going to draw back to other things we talked about.
Are you sure it's not you?
Roth hates when I do that.
Yes, that's fine.
I don't know, man.
Have you considered yourself?
Have I considered me? Do I think my 2020 is going to be the worst?
Or have you thought about somebody you would like to have a bad 2020?
Oh, somebody I want to have a terrible 2020.
You already mentioned AJ. He's out in the world.
Yeah, I mean, they are. They are. I think we talked about them plenty already. I don't have it. There's not as many fun grudges anymore.
Couldn't agree
with
more.
These people. It's like once you beat all these people over and over and over again, it's just like starts to lose the excitement of like talking shit about him.
I mean,
Gordon.
To be fair, on the other side, once Gordon is gone, we're gonna have to invent a whole new way of how people address each other. What if it's a more peaceful thing? Like, what if his grappling death brings about some sort of weird balance to the force, Garry?
A 10-year peace where grappling becomes great again, where we all just quietly talk amongst ourselves about
everybody's
how respectful we want to be and bow to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But ref.
Yeah.
And
then no money is in the sport, and we all basically can't do this professionally anymore. We just go back to the dark ages where we're just paying IBJJF to compete, and that's pretty much it.
Cron Gracie is still fighting in the UFC, so Garry has something.
It's true. I don't wish bad upon him. I want him to. I would like a match with him at some point, but I don't really.
Would you like him to try and figure out what's in that fucking tiny box for ONE FC? That's not a fate I wish on my worst enemy.
I mean, the other thing is this. Gary's been pretty consistent about being like, hey, Cron, do you want to
fight?
No? All right. Well, hey. I do. So, I mean, we know that
you do win the match. I will give you points. Like if it was a Tonon versus Gracie Destiny match, at this point, it's pretty Tonon heavy.
I mean, I'm trying. I think if I want to take shots at anybody, I've been thinking about this the whole time. You've been giving me time to think about it. If I do want to take shots at anybody, maybe Colby. I mean, he just lost the title. I think he's going to have a pretty terrible 2020. And see, it's only going to get worse. I mean, there's some talk that we might have a grappling match.
Yeah,
a couple organizations have been hitting me up about this. So I think if that happens, he's definitely going to have a terrible 2020.
But like, when did that happen? Because it happened for like a half second when it was being mentioned.
Well, he first just talked a bunch of shit randomly on that guy. He does MMA Roasted, I think.
Yes.
Adam Hunter. His last name Hunter. Okay,
nice.
And Adam Hunter was just like, he was kind of doing what you do for me, Ross, but like, you know how you do it in like a super subtle way where you give me layups and like it's not obvious to other people until I tell them that's exactly what you were doing.
Yes.
He was basically just going down a list of things he knew Colby would talk shit about. Like, it was so incredibly like, he's just like, yeah, what about Garry Tonon? What about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? And I don't even know if there was real, like, any grudge there at all whatsoever, but I was just on the list of people to talk shit about. So then I attacked, and his sister came to his aid, but I don't think he said a single thing about it. So what else? Oh, and then, I don't know. It just came up recently that he's going to do some grappling shows. So I think that's going to happen. A couple people talked to me about it. I don't know. I'm under the impression they have spoken to him about it already. So we'll see where that goes.
That would be fun. I think we would all be on it. And, I have to say the worst part about that actual setup was when I realized the moment between you and Colby and we were having fun making fun of you was I was like, fuck, I have to be Team Garry on this. There's no like facetiously being like, I hope Garry dies. Oh man, Garry, you suck. This is one where we're like, yeah, we all have to just get behind Garry on this. So. Fuck, fine.
I don't know if should I go for mimicking in this match the same way that I did with Dylan and just try to copy his entire persona prior to it? Because
it's not a bad idea.
I really want to. I did one video like it, and we did a pretty decent job. I don't think very many people saw it, but not that I expected them to. But I think it's a really easy character, and I think I could do it way better.
And you know what the worst part is, Garry? He was starting to get tired in the last couple weeks when he was on that booking tour to promote this last fight. He was literally toward the end of it when they go, hey, what about this? What about that suit you're wearing? He's like, yeah, it's from a wrestler, Nick Bockwinkel, pro wrestling. You recognize it? I was like, oh my God, he's so tired of being him. It's so
He can't even
great.
do it anymore.
He's just like, he's that kid who just shows up and is like, I don't have the energy to be Colby today. I'm just, I have to also train you idiots. I don't just do the character. The training is tough. So yeah, you should 100% do it. I think you're right about that look of getting away with that kind of douchebaggery. So I think it's right in your wheelhouse. Don't you, Kev?
I can't imagine Garry acting, but otherwise, yeah, I was in on every other part.
Hey, Gary's acting versus Colby's acting.
I'm just like having.
You know what I mean?
I'm taking a contrary position to his existence mostly.
Well,
I have a lot of high school acting experience, so I think I could do this well, Kev. Contrary to your belief.
You
I
keep saying this,
that.
but I've still never seen video evidence of you performing in your said high school musicals.
I'm more disappointed with you that you haven't been able to find said video evidence.
Wait,
like
is
that's
it out
on
there?
you as a.
Hold on, no.
It's definitely out there. It's absolutely out there.
Oh,
All of those
ouch.
were filmed, dude.
Raph,
Every single play that I ever did in high school was
he's
filmed.
questioning our
If you go
integrity.
through the right channels, you will find it.
Okay, hold on. Garry Tonon.
There's DVDs out there.
Garry Tonon.
Oh, I don't know if you can look it up on Google. Like you might have to do deeper digging than that, but
Well, I'm starting.
it's out there somewhere.
The first thing that comes up is from MMA Fighting, and it says, one's Garry Tonon says UFC promotion has become like stealing from 7-Eleven. What a profound statement.
I have so
Garry
much work
Tonon.
to do. I have to get in touch with so many family members.
Well, listen, Garry,
Small price
this has
to pay.
been a blast reconnecting and making sure that you're still alive, because again, now that Gordon's dead, it's going to fall on you to do that quasi amount of trash talk that we are allowed to see, or at least that one FC allows you to do, because it's gonna get a little quiet out there in the grappling world, even though old man retirement over there is gone. But we're very appreciative. And I have to say this on a very real note, which is I think it's a good compliment to you. We do these things in jest, but it is kind of nice when everybody says your name when we are looking to do these year of compilations. And we definitely got a number of people saying funny things. When we asked for the best submission of the decade, someone said, you mean Rampage submitting to his ego to get that cash checked for losing to Fedor in a staged fight? That's a funny answer.
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of people were making sure to make sure you were mentioned. So whether that was fate or some sort of thing that said, yeah, we should bring Garry on, we're glad that you were here to have some fun with us. Kev, do you have any departing words for Garry Tonon?
I wish you were worse at grappling and fighting. It would be so much easier to make fun of you, but goddamn, you're good at it. Keep doing more of it in 2020 because you are now our last bastion of hope.
Yes. That's how I see it as well.
And I'm quite
I will
sure
be your
your
lighthouse.
penis is small. Sorry, was that too much? I'm looking at Verbal Tap Legal. They're like, that was too much. Sorry. Okay, that's fine.
Well, Garry, do you have any departing words for us that we should hear? Where can people find your DVD? Where can people find you? All of that good stuff.
Well, the DVD is on BJJ Fanatics with a number of other products, which are pretty interesting.
Good.
It was fun to look around their studio and see some of the DVDs that they have made for certain individuals. None of them in particular come to mind at the moment as there's some funny ones out there though. So I think that would be worth doing a bit on maybe in the future for you guys, and to research some of these obscure videos that these guys have done with different people and I don't know. I think that could be, there's something there.
Maybe we should do lesser known BJJ Fanatics DVD instructionals, the
Hey,
ones that
Kevin,
you've never
do you
heard
remember when the founding
Yeah.
fathers were trying to explain the stock market and they were fucking idiots because they didn't understand advanced economics? Maybe there's a sketch around that. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, we'll find we'll find it there, I guess, amongst that. And I don't know if there's anything else really that important. Hopefully I fight sometime soon.
Jesus
That would be
Christ,
nice.
really.
Doubt it.
I'm waiting, man. I mean, they try to set me up with this Russian guy, Masrat Gafarov, and I think that's how you say his name. Who the hell knows? Probably not. Some communist. But he didn't want to make weight, even though he's made weight for that weight class every time he's ever fought. So,
You're gonna
I don't know. That was really weird.
Into a little bit more of this, my man.
Yeah.
It's
so
tough.
I'm going to fight at 170 at some point anyway, I think. But it's
Tough
just because I did my first 2 fights, but
he'll hook the shit
it
out
doesn't
of
seem
people.
like it makes sense. Like I'm going to fight 50. I'm trying to get a 55-pound title, and this guy's at 55, and he's fought for the title multiple times at 55. And like, why are we going to do this at 70, and then my next match is going to be a title? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Stay at 55.
And then they put it.
Be a diva about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Weird.
Like, I'm staying at 55 because that's where I knock motherfuckers out. Don't
At
don't
this
apologize.
point, I'm just going to take whatever I can get. Like,
no. God
What are you
damn
gonna
it.
do?
No, Gary. Fuck. Oh, Raph, your turn.
Or Gary, just make your own weight class, because that's what everybody's doing. Create your version of a bad
don't let them
motherfucker
talk
belt.
you into shit and be like,
True. Good point.
This is
Well,
Gary.
I tried to create that. I tried to create your mom's favorite grappler, and nobody's challenged me for the title.
Yeah, how has nobody taken you up on that? That's a great moniker.
know.
When I saw you do that, I was like, you know what? Here's a title that I think should go far at this point.
So hopefully I create a belt and fight for that title at some point. Or, well, I guess fight to retain that title. That's what I'd like to do. Maybe I could do that with Colby. We'll see, but probably not. He's not really a grappler.
To be fair,
It's gonna be like a
nobody
2-second
would
match,
ever
so.
refer to him as anyone's mom's favorite grappler, so that's not happening. But it is a great idea. That is a marketing tool for the future. Well, listen, Gary, we're glad that you were able to join us on our last podcast of the year. We're very happy to check in with you. We hope for many good things in this next decade. Maybe you could be this decade's most exciting grappler again. Who knows? We'll have to wait.
I mean, the funny part is all it does is take like one match. Like, it's not even like I was actively competing for the whole year. And like, boom, most exciting match and fight to win. Boom, most exciting grappler. Suck it.
That's 2 R's, 1 N. GarryTonon.com.
Is that what I had to do, Raph?
I think so. I think.
All right, fine. Well, then I'm going to hit rap on this bitch.
All right.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is